What's up, everybody? This is your boy Tech G back with another video to help you successfully pass the CompTIA Security Plus 601 certification exam. So let's get into it. In this video, you're going to learn about code integrity measurement, open web application security project, and secure coding techniques such as normalization, stored procedures, obfuscation, camouflage, code reuse, dead code, server-side versus client-side execution and validation, memory management, third-party libraries and software development kits, and data exposure. Code integrity measurement. So code integrity, this is a measurement used in software testing. It measures how the source code's quality is when it is passed on to the quality assurance and is affected by how extensively the code was unit tested and integration tested. Code integrity is a combination of code coverage and software quality and is usually achieved by unit testing code to reach high code coverage. With code integrity, the developer can be sure that the code is written correctly when passed on to Q&A. Essentially, code integrity helps companies release better products with fewer bugs in a shorter amount of time. Next, we have secure code techniques. So for the CompTIA Security Plus 601 certification exam, you need to be familiar with the following secure coding techniques. And the first one is called normalization. And this is the detection and removal of all duplicate data in a database by logically grouping data redundancies together. Whenever a piece of data is dependent on another, the two should be stored in proximity within that data set. By getting rid of all anomalies and organizing unstructured data into structured form, normalization greatly improves the usability of a data set. Data can be visualized more easily, insights can be extracted more efficiently, and information can be updated more quickly. As redundancies are merged together, the risk of errors and duplicates, further making data even more disorganized, is reduced. In addition, a normalized database takes less space, getting rid of many disk space problems and increasing its overall performance significantly. Then we have stored procedures, and this is a prepared SQL code that can be saved so that the code can be reused over and over again. So if you have a SQL query that is written over and over again, it can be saved as a stored procedure and then called up when needed for execution. You can also pass parameters to a stored procedure so that the stored procedures can be acted upon based on the parameter values that are being passed. Next, we have obfuscation and camouflage, and this is the complicating of source code to make it more difficult for people to understand. Code is obfuscated to conceal its purpose in order to prevent tampering and/or reverse engineering, and this is an example of security through obscurity. Then we have code reuse and dead code. So code reuse, this is the practice of using existing code for a new function or software. But in order to reuse code, that code needs to be high quality, and that means it should be safe, secure, and reliable. Dead code refers to code which can never be executed at runtime. Dead code is a section in the source code of a program which is executed but whose result is never used in any other computation. The execution of dead code wastes computation time and memory. Then we have client-side versus server-side execution and validation. So client-side validation, this is an initial check and an important feature of good user experience by catching invalid data on the client side that the user can fix immediately. Server-side validation is input submitted by the user that is being sent to the server and validated using a server-side scripting language. After the validation process on the server side, the feedback is sent back to the client by a newly dynamically generated web page. Then we have memory management, and this is a form of resource management applied to computer memory. The essential requirement of memory management is to provide ways to dynamically allocate portions of memory to programs at their request and free it for reuse when no longer needed. This is critical to any advanced computer system where more than a single process might be underway at any time. Next, we have third-party libraries and software development kits. So third-party libraries, these are applications, binaries, or pieces of code that are developed by a third-party organization or open source software. And SDKs, these are a collection of software development tools and utilities used as a framework to develop applications. And then we have data exposure. And this is any information that is meant to be protected from unauthorized access. Sensitive Sensitive data can include anything from personally identifiable information, such as social security numbers, to banking information, to login credentials. When this data is accessed by an attacker as a result of a data breach, users are at risk for sensitive data exposure. Data breaches that result in the exposure of sensitive credentials can come with costs in the millions of dollars and destroy a company's reputation along with it. And then we have the Open Web Application Security Project. So the Open Web Application Security Project, this is an international nonprofit organization dedicated to web application security. One of OWASP's core principles is that all of their materials be freely available and easily accessible on their website, making it possible for anyone to improve their own web application security. The materials they offer include documentation, tools, videos, and forums. It covers the high-level phases of web application security testing and also digs deeper into the actual testing methods that are being used. In the Open Web Application Security Project Proactive Controls, this is a collection of secure development practices and guidelines that any software developer should follow to build a secure application. And the top 10 proactive controls are defining the security requirements, leveraging security frameworks and libraries, securing database access, encode and escape data, validating all inputs, implementing digital identity, enforcing access controls, protecting data everywhere, implementing security logging and monitoring, and handling all errors and exceptions. All right, so that was my quick little class on secure coding techniques, where we talked about code integrity measurements, open web application security project, and secure coding techniques such as normalization, stored procedures, obfuscation, code reuse, dead code, server-side versus client-side execution and validation, memory management, third-party libraries and software development kits, and data exposure. Now, if you felt like you've gotten something valuable out of this information, go ahead and hit the like button, share button, drop a comment, but most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Also, go check out my website, Technology G, so that you can get read up on the latest and greatest to help you successfully pass the CompTIA Security Plus 601 certification exam. And until next video, ladies and gentlemen, peace.